Hey guys, today we are going to be building a little terrarium. You really want to preferably do this in glass, but this is an old cookie container and I couldn't find any suitable things with a lid on top that doesn't have like holes that I can poke in. So if you're going to build an actual terrarium with bugs in it, living matter, you probably need to go for something glass. Otherwise, I only keep these for a couple days because it can build mold, but if you put a couple springtails, those are the little tiny itty bitty things that crawl around, you can prevent mold because they feast on that matter. So this is my favorite rock. Put it here for like a year ago, and I lifted up, and it's kind of freshly rained. The soil is still damp, and so we're gonna see what we can pull. So we just push it up like so. Oh wow, ants have taken over. You see that pattern? It almost looks like there is a millipede, which I am going to grab. Ants, which I do not like. They are very important to the ecosystem, but I do not prefer them in any way, shape, or form. I have a little garden millipede that will fit very nicely in my terrarium, which I let go of all of my bugs in a week or so because I don't think that's very ethical to keep them in there for that long. So I'm gonna build. What I should have done is put all of the dirt in there before, but I'm looking for the bugs first because I'm an impatient motherfucker. I also have accessories in there, which is some acorns and then a magnolia tree leaf to the itty bitty form that it is, and it's really soft right here. They usually bloom out to about an avocado seed size, and when they die, they shrivel up. And as the erosion goes on, they go into the ground. So with that rock done, it's been infested by ants, so I can't really do that. This is a stick I picked up from the forest that was very whippy, and I picked all of the little spines off of it. It was dead, but I really enjoy the sound that it makes. I mean, is that not a beautiful, enjoyable sound? It's also really windy. I would grab some moss. Grab a little bit of moss. We go over here and see rut terrain has a little bit of moss. Oh, apparently someone has sprinkled glitter, because the rumor has it, if you sprinkle glitter on the ground, Santa's reindeer will be able to see more of where you go, but it actually just destroys the environment a little bit, which, you know, it's glitter. What are we gonna do? Have fun. My millipede is safe and sound. Right here, by this little fence that I have. I own this fence, actually, just playing by myself. We have a lot of interesting little plants. We have a dried up dandelion, and I almost want to say this is dock weed, or like that's the name of it, but it's just a dandelion, so I'm not too sure on that. I do want to put rocks in the container for drainage, because that is quite important. And so we'll gently get the millipede in our hands and put him in the top layer to chill until his house is built. Oh, I can't tell if it's starting to sprinkle or not, but I'm gonna grab some little pebbles and stuff. What was on my shirt? A bunch of fuzz. Here's my fuzz for you to enjoy for your pleasurable fuzzy activities. Okay. Dive in. So we've got some mixed pebbles. Most of them are sharp. Most of them are small. Okay. But we have the rocks. We're gonna get some dirt. I stepped in an ant pile. Oh my god. You're not disrupting the environment that much when you just take a spoonful. Here comes a school bus. The ground is very dry, we'll say that. I'm going to dig up a dockweed plant because this is most arthropods, isopods like to hide in leaf litter. They like to always be hidden. So do snails. So any snail that you keep will probably bury and hide anywhere you have it. Use carpet moss. There are different types. There's a really soft one, and this one is kind of dry, but I'm going to moisten it up a little bit. And as we build the layers on top, it'll all sink down very nicely. We found some beautiful little clovers and a twirl of grass and whatnot. Right, more digging to do. Sometimes I see this professional tone in my voice where it doesn't really need to be there. It kind of comes out when I'm doing tasks, or maybe it's because I'm not used to being on camera yet, but I'm sure that will change. I maybe strive in ASMR type videos, or I might do that more often because, believe it or not, I often talk to myself when I'm alone, and it makes more sense to film it instead of just doing that. I'm not crazy. I'm just a very talkative person, and sometimes I like to verbalize my thoughts. And also, it's good to practice my conversational things because I struggle with that. When I'm put on the spot or in any social situation, I realize practicing my conversations, it doesn't make me inauthentic. It just makes me more articulate. Pretty little guy. I used to call dandelions and blowflowers mixed up. So the little white tufts you make a wish on, I used to get those confused with these flowers. And I also call them sunflowers. See, soil is so dry. It was rainy today, I don't know why. Maybe that's just Texas for you. I'm not gonna dox myself, but I am out in the boondocks of East Texas. And it can be kind of mundane, kind of boring. But I find I really appreciate the nature aspects of the country because for the better majority of my life, I lived in the city. And that's what I was used to. I was used to skyscrapers and a restaurant every down strip, options and more options of whatnot. But when you get out here, it's church, cow, cemetery. And then, not every town's like that, right? But there's a good amount. I'm sure my friends from small towns understand that. It's kind of like everybody knows everybody, and if you're hated at school or whatnot, you're kind of hated everywhere, or that's what it feels like. But your world expands so much as you get older. I realize that. That's why things seem a lot bigger to you as a kid, and if you're revisiting them, you're like, oh god, this is so small. Like any playground you've been to, or any place that you've revisited, seems a lot smaller, because you're a lot bigger. And also your eyes change. The saturation of your eyes literally dampen when you get older. It's not even eyesight. It's just the saturation. My cat is here, and he's gonna come say hi. I named him after the panther in the Jungle Book, Bagheera. He's 5 years old. He's very, very cute. And very, very, very affectionate. He always likes to come see what I'm up to. He loves the little pats on his spine. They have a lot of nerve endings on the back of their tail, and that's why they like it. That's why they like it. He's a little flea-infested ball of void, so I try to give him a bath. Or not a bath, a wipe down, because cats don't really prefer baths. It's kind of coming together. I think I would like some more color in it. He thinks it's food for him, don't you? But I'm going to stick this right here. As I mentioned before, I do not like ants, but there is a lot of interesting ant channels. Oops, didn't mean to swipe you there. That have so many informational videos on how to build terrariums for them, tubing, and what happens, and how to take care of ants, basically. And I'm like, you know what, watching this maybe might help my fear of ants, but I've had one too many run-ins with them. Like, for instance, one time, you've probably heard this story if you know me, because I just explained it to everyone for some reason, but I was at my aunt's farm, and I lived there for about 8 months. And, I decided to build a fort. I decided to, I'm going to build an epic stick fort. And I was halfway through, and I'm, going to the edge of the forest looking for more big logs, because I needed something to rest, whatever. I don't really remember the details. But I pick up this giant log, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so strong and cool. I was 12 years old. And I'm wearing a white, crew neck sweater, and then whatever pants, don't remember. And I feel something biting me right here. And I'm like, oh god. Oh, scratchy. What was that? And I look down, and I just see a bunch of spots and freckles. Not freckles, but evil little fire ants were all over me. And I'm like, oh my god. Forgot to mention my 3 little cousins were there. Had to take my shirt off in front of them, and it was just like, help, get them off me, right now. And I just had a little freak out session, so they bit me right here, around my chest area, around my arms, wrists, face. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like ants. It wasn't even that instant that I didn't decide I liked ants. I was fishing on a little public park that had a pond where you could fish, and 3 big fire ants got my big toe. And I was a very dramatic little lad, and so I was wearing sandals and shit, and it just freaked me out, man. Every time I've interacted with ants, they're very evil, and they help our ecosystem, and they're just tiny little guys. How are they gonna hurt you? But they sting, and they're creepy crawly. But I like other bugs. This bracelet was given to me, which I hold so very dearly. Wink. This one was given to me by my grandma, and then this is a Russian techno band that my friend introduced to me, and it's actually glow in the dark, and so is this one. Thank you. Those who know. It's like to actually burrow into these acorns, and then that's where they stay. It's like a cocoon, kind of. And I thought, you know what? This is great for my little thing. Maybe they can crawl in there and make another house. So update, it started pouring raining, actually. So, I would have stood out there, but I didn't want to get that wet. And so, there's nobody home besides the little millipede we put in there earlier. I'd like for there to be more, but this is the finished terrarium. So, I'll probably make a YouTube short if I put any little guys in here, but that is that for now. My other scavenging adventure, my little pickup spot, I went to, a social security office. I was running an errand with my mom, and there was a gazebo nearby, and they had an acorn tree and a little garden, and I think it was a hotel nearby, but I walked over there, and I sat down, and I was like, oh, there's many foliage and plants around this area. I'm not sure, I'm about 70% sure this is eucalyptus. It had a very eucalyptus editing back. It was. I guessed right. I got it right. The smell to it, very strong smell, very, very cool leaf. And then this is a bloomed magnolia bud. That's the one I showed you earlier was the premature version, but this usually has a big white flower that smells around it. A lot of people say honeydew smells like sweet ass. And I can kind of see that, honestly, but I don't know. I plan to make little acorn army warriors, because I was going to make a 2-headed one, right? But it just looks like a little hat. You can't tell me I'm going to draw a face on this little guy and make him a little warrior. And I also found some bottle caps as a shield. Okay, so I now have a little earphone microphone, which I clipped together with a little pin. You're probably going to still hear some pitter-patter or the static of my background, which is fine, but I might turn this into a little soft speaking ASMR section, who knows. But I think I decided to go with a bird design, kind of like a crane, because I couldn't figure out where I wanted the head to go, because that just looks a bit awkward. Maybe it works in a different universe, but I'm going to take these two and clip them out somehow. Or I could wedge the sticks in there without disrupting the integrity of the magnolia. Never defanged a magnolia leaf before, so I'm not sure how to go about this, but looks like it's working pretty well. It's like kind of like a pine cone, but way harder and more robust. So you see those little two openings there, right here, right here. I'm gonna shove some sticks in there. I want the bird to have back-facing legs like a real bird would, but I don't have another stick like this, because this one is like that, so this one has a little bit of moss on it. I don't know if that picks up on camera, but it does. Just like that. I could reinforce that with glue, which I'm going to. Just take a little bit. So I don't really want hot glue to show up on the piece, kind of like it came from the forest or something. Maybe like it's a real living creature. Trying to set everything down as lightly as possible. I did just lick my fingers and place my fingers on hot glue to make it flatten a little bit. Now it's not going to break. Now we've got two even backlight bird pieces. Let's take a little bit. I should put it on the stick, but I'm going to put it in here so I can hide it a little bit better. I don't know why this was a Christmas tradition in my household, but we would get pine cones and we would hot glue jelly beans in them. Oh, it's not working from it. Because I want the leg to come out like this way, because he's going to be, the direction of his head's going to be facing. I did not come up with making a little acorn creature totally by myself. I did see a YouTube video of this awesome guy. I will leave his channel description in the link in this description. I'll leave his channel in a link in the description below. I'm not used to all of this YouTube language and format and all of the terms and whatnot. Maybe I'll get used to it. But his videos, he has a very, very, very nice voice that is relaxing to the ears. And I like making little crafts. It's almost looking like an ostrich. This figure is probably not going to be standing on its own, so I'll have to find a way around making him stand up. I will try my best. Or I could stick him in the terrarium that I'm building. I think that is a great idea. Should we like this or this? I think like that. I think he's pretty cute. This does look a bit awkward. I wonder if I could put the magnolia leaves on his back as like a spine feather, and I did have a real feather. And I don't know where I'm going to stick that. I could just stick it up his butt, which is a bit indecent of me, but we'll see how that looks. Or not. Shove a feather. Quite like that, actually. Kind of looks like he's actually walking. I like running in the rain. It's quite a bit cathartic. Almost feels rebellious, but there's nothing rebellious about the rain. It's just natural. Rebellious. Who knows? I like just playing around with the shapes. There's a premature acorn I'm going to pluck off this and make him have balls. That's not okay. Never mind. This video should be for kids. Let's not try that. It's not anymore, I'm assuming. Birds don't have arms. That always freaks me out when I see that. I mean, Not really when you realize it. But he's not wanting to sit. Can make little shoes or whatnot. Oh, that is a bit wonky, isn't it? Let's reinforce that. It's gonna be harder now that he's on par with everything. On par? Does he have a status quo to maintain? Gray marker. You would think brown because it's a stick, but the composition would work better with a gray marker. It's not doing anything. You know, some ideas just don't work. That's the price of being creative. Creativity is something that everyone has. No matter how much you think you're scared of it, no matter how much you think you will fail at something, you can still create something. It's not a requirement. It's not about talent or anything. It's just about time and effort. Exploring your brain. If you dream often, you think often, you have racing thoughts, your creativity levels want to come out a lot. And it feels a bit exhausting, or you feel trapped when you can't express that. That's why you may feel lethargic or whatnot. You just need to have a little outlet to create something. I'm talking from a very personal stance, but pinecone, even though there's not a whisper of pinecone in this little creature. Could name an Ave, short for aviator. Just call him Fred, and it's a done deal. Half of that was me conversating, half of that was me building. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this little chill part of the video. I will probably make more nature-related videos in the future because it calms me and it's very fun. I have a lot of video ideas to make. I'm gonna have to kick a few of them off because it's pulled from a lot of other YouTubers that have inspired me. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want some originality. There's gonna be a lot of varying videos. I'm not gonna do one thing. I'm not gonna just do ASMR, just gaming, just talking, whatever, whatnot. Thank you for tuning in. The video was over? It's not. Look at how good he turned out. I updated, I installed, I gave him feet, I gave him fake feathers, and I gave him a cascading leaf trail of awesome feathers and eyelashes and a beak. Opposable beak, actually. Where he's... It looks pretty real to me. This is Falsy. Now it's really the end of the video. Bye.